Welcome back to Tell Me Something Good. I'm your host, Jackie.
And I'm your host, Shelly, and this is a podcast where we talk about self-development, experiences, and lessons that we've learned along the way.
Today, we're going to get into our trip to the Pretty Chapel, our road trip, and how that went. And we almost got in a fight. Clickbait. But first, Jelly, tell me something good.
Okay, my something good is that I'm starting a new job Monday.
Woo! That's amazing. Is this something you've been wanting? Or is it something that's going to, the schedule makes sense for you and everything?
Yeah, and the pay and everything is a lot better. Because I feel like I have talked on here about how I feel like I'm not in my purpose at all. Mm-hmm. And it's just, so finally I just applied to places and I got a new job. So I'm excited, but it's hard for me for change and starting new things. Like I'm somebody who I like to be comfortable and know everything to expect. So I hope I like it.
You'll like it. And if anything, if you don't like it,
I can
always find something else. Yeah. But that is exciting. Okay, now we have to celebrate. Now we have to celebrate that. Yes. Oh, that's awesome though. Congratulations.
Thank you. But I'll let y'all know how it goes next week.
Yeah, let us know.
So you tell me something good.
Something good is that today is Friday.
TGIF.
It is Friday, and I don't really have anything like. I've had a good week, a really good week. I went to this like new construction event where I got to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while, and then I went to this tea time thing that was really fun. So I think I've been around people like that I enjoy being around, and I've gotten out of my comfort zone in that because sometimes I like to be home and not say yes to things because I just want to be home. But this week I did have a little bit of a busy week, and it feels good to not be at home and in my head and just be around people who you just enjoy.
It all depends on your company.
Yes. Yes, and then I also met with my broker in charge was pretty much coaching me, and I needed that. So I met with her this week, and I was just telling her exactly how I felt, and she was just telling me exactly like what I need to do. So it feels good to have somebody there too that is like, and she's gonna check in on me next week. So she's on my ass, which is what I need, and I'm really grateful for her. And she has the same name as me, so shout out to Jackie. She's the best. It's not me, y'all. But I'm talking about myself. But that's my something good. I had a really good week, so I'm very grateful for that. All right, so let's get into
our road trip.
We went on it 2 weeks ago because last week was Easter, so we didn't shoot, and we went on our road trip. We left I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, what time did we leave? 3? Or 2?
I left my house like at 2:30, I think.
Yeah.
And then we picked you up like at 3:15 around there. And it was a 4-hour drive. And it was so fun. Like, even the drive there was just.
It's funny because we kept missing exits and stuff. And I feel like we were just having fun. Like, we didn't make a big deal. We're just like,
We missed like 3 exits. AKA me. I missed the exits because we were just talking. And by the time I had passed it, we were like, oh, by the way, I was supposed to. Oh, my gosh. But we did miss the sunrise.
Yeah, I feel like we got there when it was coming up. Like, we couldn't see it coming up, but I could tell, like, we missed it by, like, a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But it was still very beautiful, so.
It was a really, really beautiful experience. If you live around there was people who drive there from hours away, too, or fly just to see it.
Yeah, you've probably seen it on TikTok. If not, look it up. It's called Pretty Chapel. No.
The Pretty Chapel, Pretty Place.
Yeah, something like that.
Just drive safe because them roads are kind of scary. And get there early because we thought we were the only ones. They were like, oh my gosh, no one's going to be there. And
there was nobody on the road. Like, it was deserted. As soon as we pull up, we had to park like a mile away.
Yeah.
And we were parking on the side of the road. And we went on a Sunday, so maybe that's why Palm Sunday and everything. But I think they said Sunday is the busiest day.
Well, we were thinking we were the only ones. We're like, dang, we're early. No one's here. People are getting there right at sunrise, like before sunrise, just to experience it. So if you do go, just get there early. Get there like, I would say be there by 6.
Yeah.
It was cold too.
It was so cold.
It was freezing. But we had a really, really good time. We went there and we did encounter A Karen.
Literally a Karen.
A Karen. Oh my God.
But I feel like, do Karens? No, some people are just Karens. But I'm like,
she was a nice Karen.
she was, yeah,
like
passive aggressive.
passively. Like I thought she was like this. She had the sweetest voice. Very sweet voice.
So let's explain. We were out there and we were kind of just like, we seen it, but we were like, well, we don't want to just leave. So we're kind of just sitting around and
taking pictures.
And we're talking and giggling, you know.
And you know, I'm a little loud. I'm not gonna lie. When I laugh, like I can't help it. I just have like this loud laugh. Cuando algo se me hace chistoso, like.
Yeah.
And I don't think about it because and we were just having a good time.
Yeah.
But someone had just got proposed to. Like it was like a vibe. People were clapping.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking, and
so she keeps looking at us. Like she's
literally like,
she will turn and like stare at us like for a couple seconds, and then like we peeped the attitude before anything.
I saw her that one time, and I was like, dang, why does she keep looking?
Yeah,
like
we
that?
were like,
but she would literally broke her neck like this.
Yeah, like it was very obvious, but I was like, well, she can speak whatever she's feeling.
So and even that made us laugh.
Yeah, I think I made it worse.
So we laughed about that because we were like, dang, what's her problem? And then even Sylvia said she got the Karen haircut too. But she was there with her husband, and I could hear their conversation before this because we were only like 3 rows away, like in the chapel, like 3 rows away. Everyone's really doing their own things, and people are there with their dogs. Everyone's doing their own thing. I don't notice anyone, and I don't think anyone notices us. But then she turns one last time, and we all look at her. She's looking at us.
Yeah. What does she say?
She's like, hey, can I ask y'all something? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, where are you guys from?
Yeah,
literally
like so nice.
Sweetest voice. Where are you guys from? And in my head, I'm like, oh, she's been wanting she's been nervous.
She's curious.
Yeah, she's just
something.
been wanting to ask us. And I was like, we're from Asheboro, North Carolina. Where are you from? And she's like, I think she was like, North Carolina? Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm actually from here. And I remember I used to come, and she's like, I used to come here all the time. And I remember when it used to be so
reverend.
No, she said so, reverend and peaceful. Or
she said reverend, and then you were
no, she said reverend and quiet.
Yeah.
Because then I said, what's reverend? That's when I knew she was talking shit, because she was like, I'm trying not to cuss, y'all. That's how I knew, though, because she was like, I remember when it used to be so reverend and quiet. And I was like, what's reverend? And she's like, peaceful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's still peaceful. And then Sylvia's like, she's like, really? That lady's like, oh, really? You think so? And then Sylvia's like, it's all about perspective. And we were like,
and honestly, I'm slow because I don't think I realized until the whole thing was over what happened. Like, I was still like, wait, what?
No, whenever she said peaceful, like, and quiet, I knew she was coming. I was like, my slow self, I'm like, what's reverend? That was the word of the day, reverend.
We said it at least 500 times that day.
But it really did kind of, I think this is what I'm trying to, like, put a damper on our day, or at least in the moment, because we were having such a good time, just like living our best life, not worried about what anybody else is doing, and thinking nobody's worried about what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And we even were like, wait, we even had a moment there where we were like, are we? And then she walked away, so she just leaves. Her husband's like looking down, you know, and we were
like, were we in the wrong? Like,
yeah. And then we were like, well, let's be quiet and see if it gets quiet. Like, maybe we are being loud, because I will acknowledge that I can be loud, or, you know, especially when we're all like,
it's like when we're together, we just crack up like little inside jokes.
Yeah.
We just crack up so much.
And literally, as soon as I say, okay, let's have a moment, we hear like, bzzz, like a drone. Somebody's flying their drone. So it's like people are there to shoot content too, like make their own, like shoot the beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think that it did make me reflect, though, because next time we go, I'm going to be more quiet, more mindful, more demure. But I think that, could she have said it any other way, though?
Yeah, I think she definitely came out it the wrong way. Like, I think if she would have been, like, nicer about it, I maybe would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, like.
But even though, if she would have said it nicer, I would have still been like, girl, why do you care, in my head? Like.
Yeah, I think then I would, but when I thought about it, I was like, I looked it up, and it is supposed to be like a quiet, even though everybody, because I'm like, imagine if everybody was the same volume of us, it would be like so much, you know?
Yeah.
But I do think she went about it the wrong way.
And she kept staring, like.
Yeah, like she was being rude.
But how could she have said it nicely? Like, if she was to say it nicely, she could have been like, because even then we would have been offended. We would have been like.
I think it like if she would have been like, hey girls, like, can we tone it down?
Like, damn. I feel like we're in school or something.
Yeah, I don't know how she could have said it, but.
And then my thing is, she lives there. She sees this all the time. It's not her first time seeing it. It's her first time there. And like Sylvia said, this is what really put into perspective that why she's so worried about it, is that she's like, I could have had like the worst week, and this is the first laugh I have. Even though that's not true, because we have been laughing. It could have. We know that's not true, because we've been laughing the whole way there.
And then I'm like, but what if she found out somebody in her family has cancer, and like she went to be peaceful? You know, like it goes both ways. But that's why I think I reflected on it more when I was looking at the pictures of me with the cross, and I was like, that wasn't Christ-like. Like, I think, like he says, turn the other cheek. Like, it's not good to match energy with the same energy, which I don't think we did, because
no, we
kept it cute.
If anything, she probably went home and was like, those girls are so dumb. They didn't even get it. Like, they did not get what I was trying to tell them, like, to tone it down. I really think she walked away thinking we didn't understand what she was trying to say. So I'm cool with that. But I do think in situations like that, I don't think I would tell somebody to be quiet.
No, I wouldn't personally.
Now, maybe if they're disturbing my peace, I'm going to move somewhere else where they're not, or, you know, like, whatever. But I would never turn around and be like, y'all, keep it down.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, we're grown-ass women. I understand if we're young little girls.
Yeah.
Okay, like, girl, shh. Like, I would tell a little kid, hush. I will. But in a nice way, I'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
If it's that serious. But if we're just there, and it's our, like, I don't know. I
really think she was salty because she was asking where we're from. I think she probably would go there all the time before it blew up on TikTok, and now she's probably just annoyed with everybody, like, just presence. But I'm like, that's a place where, you know, the cross is there. Like, I don't know. I feel like she could have went about it a different way.
And something else that Sylvia said was that when she asked where we were from, maybe she expected me to be like, Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, Asheboro, North Carolina.
But I feel like I don't like to jump to that conclusion yet with people. Because I'm like, I don't know. I don't like to assume everybody's racist. But, I mean, it could have been some underlining things there.
Yeah. We probably look like them hot Cheeto girls at school. You know, acting up. You know, like when you're loud in school.
Yeah.
But it's like them hot Cheeto girls. But I don't think that it was necessary. I understand, though, if we were cussing and saying, like, inappropriate things, then I'd be like, hey, y'all, like, we're in a place of worship. Like, can we just, like, not say those words here?
I think we were just laughing. Like, we would whisper and then laugh.
Yes. Because we were so sleepy that I don't think my full volume could not have been accessed at that time, because I was so tired. Like, I had been close. I even said, I'm going to close my eyes, remember? So I was a little sleepy. I was like, I'm going to close my eyes and just sit here for like 15 minutes. But then we started talking. But I know that I was really tired, so I know my full... She didn't get to hear my full volume.
She didn't hear nothing.
And I guess we've never been really told, like...
No. I think that's why I didn't even catch on. I was like, wait, what happened?
But I do think her husband was a little bit... Because if he was agreeing with her, he would have been, like, but standing behind her, like...
Yeah.
But he was, like, literally looking down, like, oh, here she goes again. So... I just in that situation, it did make us want, like, honestly, we talked about it on the way.
Yeah.
We talked about it a lot because we still couldn't believe that this woman.
Yeah. Like, we're supposed to be sisters in Christ.
And we weren't doing anything. We weren't making fun of anybody. We don't do that. Like, we know we were just there being us. And I think that's where I did, like, when we came back, though, I was like, were we really being loud? And maybe we were. But, and now when we do go back, I will be more mindful about it. But
and we looked, there was no signs saying, quiet. I didn't see any.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But we
So
were.
maybe it's an unspoken rule. So I feel like she should have just went about it differently. I don't know how, but.
But I think that we were being quiet. Like, we were. Even, I think it was just that little moment. We had a little giggle, little laughing moment. Oh my gosh. Like, it's not, but before that, we were quiet.
Yeah.
Like, we understood what it was. But we just had a little moment where we just wanted to laugh. And even someone got proposed to, everyone was clapping. Like, when they were talking, we could hear them talking. When they were talking about, like, because I was listening to their conversation, and the fiance, she said, I thought we were just gonna come look at the view. Like, I could hear people's conversations around me, but
I think maybe she was having a bad day. But I was like, I wanted to reflect on it, like, what was the right thing to do?
Well, she was being,
like, on my part, because I feel like we can't control other people. But I feel like when I, like, look to the Bible, it does say turn the other cheek, and, like,
I think we did. Kind of.
I think turn the other cheek would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, like, are we being loud? Like,
but the thing is, she was being like.
But I think once you apologize to someone, it really brings their armor down. They're like, oh, like, they don't expect it. I think people expect you to be like, and that makes them, get more. But once you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, we didn't realize, she would have been like, oh, like, it's,
And she would have looked like
she would have looked like
she would have felt
the Karen. Yeah.
So that reminds me, the same exact thing happened to me at the restaurant the other day. This man, so I had a table of 5, and I brought them all waters, and I'm like, anything else I can get for y'all? Only 2 people told me, like, Pepsi and a margarita. I look around, everyone's quiet, so I'm like, okay, I'll be right back with that. I had already gave them their waters and everything. I come back, and I bring back their Pepsi and the margarita, and I say, are y'all ready to order? And this man really says, well, you didn't take my drink. He's like, you came here, you only asked them to, but you didn't take my drink. And I was so shook, because why would I ignore you purposely?
Yeah. Everybody knows you go around and say,
yes.
Like, you don't.
And I said, oh my gosh, sir, I am so sorry. Because I really was.
Yeah.
I was like, I am so sorry. I apologize. I thought I had looked around, but you know what? I'm sorry. What can I get for you? Like, I'll have it out, like, really fast. And he's like, he was still mad. He's like, I want, and I said, okay, I'll be right back. I'll be right back with that. Like, and I brought it back. And after that, he was like being so nice. But I was already like, dude, I didn't mean to ignore you. But it kind of did hurt my feelings, because he said it so rude. I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't see. And you could tell the other people in the table were like, she really is sorry.
Yeah.
I literally brought it out. And then after that, he kept, like, trying to look me in my eyes. And I think I kind of looked away, because he'd be like, thank you so much. And I'd be like, you're welcome. Because I was a little butthurt. But it is true, though. Like, if we would have apologized. But
maybe in that moment, she still would have been a B. But I think if she reflected on herself, she would have been like, oh, later
but
on.
I also think that she was very passive aggressive about it. She didn't directly tell us what she was trying to say. She was just like, I remember when it was. And what if we would have been like, really? How was it? Like, if we were like how was it before all the TikTok fame? Like, like, imagine if we would have been like, just, because what if we really didn't get it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like maybe back then I don't realize when people are being rude. And I just think they're like, but I do think that she had no right, though.
Yeah.
And it was funny, because then we went out to eat to a restaurant right after. And we had some mimosas. Now, we were being like us again. And we tell the waiter the story. we're like, yeah, can you believe?
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. We're like, can you believe we went to the? Because he said, what were you guys up to today? Or maybe he didn't even ask. We were just yapping to him. And we told him that we went to the pretty chapel, but that this lady, well, I don't know why we told him. And he's like, what?
That's why I think it bothered us more than we admitted. You know,
Yeah.
like we talked about it all day, honestly. Like we laughed about it, but I'm like, I don't know. It's still
Yeah.
about it.
And he said, what? Y'all guys being loud? What? Like, you know, we're like
being sarcastic.
But at the end of the day, though, it's just, I would never tell somebody to keep it down. Ever.
I wouldn't.
If it's at a public place.
Yeah.
If it's my house, okay, I understand. Like, but if it's at a public place and we're not affecting you directly or talking to you loudly or saying things that are offensive around you or your children, because we know, I feel like I'm very good at picking up on social cues, right? Like, I can tell if what I'm saying, or I'm like, oh, like let's be quiet, like, y'all, we're being loud. Like, I've said that multiple times to my sisters. I'm like, y'all, we're being so loud, like, let's but I think that woman was just,
I don't know, I wish we could have her on.
If you're that lady
to get answers,
please sit here with us, and I want to know, and we could probably like have a really good conversation and see her side, and
maybe it was a misunderstanding in some way.
But now I do get her side about being loud. Like, I'm not gonna go and like,
Yeah, and I think too, like, it is a chapel, and to me a chapel's, I don't know, I feel like God is everywhere, but I guess like me being Catholic, it's not the same as like a misa, you know, like where the Eucharist is there. So I'm like, maybe I didn't think about it, but maybe I was being disrespectful to like her, I don't know.
Reverence is that.
Yeah.
Like, reverence is a place of worship or holiness, right? Like, is that what it is?
Like, just respect and quiet. I don't know.
Let me look it up, because I had looked up reverend.
But I'm like, it could have been her time to like teach us that, or.
But then again, it's not her place to teach us.
But I know, like, if you go to church and we're like that, like in a
But,
misa,
like,
they will tell us to get out.
Okay, it says deep respect for someone or something, reverence.
So like respect, yeah.
It says in the Bible, reverence is intense, worshipful, awed respect. And I get that. And I think I did learn from that. Like, next time we go, I'm going to be really mindful about us laughing and all that. But
I think she definitely went about it the wrong way.
yeah.
But I don't know how I expected her like to go about it, because
I feel like
I would have been offended either way. But I think if she would have been nicer, I'm not somebody's being nice to me, I'm not gonna be like, no, like, I'm just not that kind of person.
Yeah, like if someone comes out, like even her with her sweet voice, I thought she was being nice.
Yeah.
You know, like she had, when I tell you, the most sweetest voice that you can imagine a Karen having, she had that voice. And I started feeling bad because we had like been like, oh, why should keep looking at us?
Yeah.
And I started like, in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, we misjudged that she was judging us. But really, she was just wondering where we were from. I thought. Yeah, I just think.
But yeah, I feel like it was something that I learned from. And I think that's all we can do, is learn from.
But not take it personal.
Yeah.
Not think that we were doing something wrong when we didn't know we were doing something wrong. I think we can learn from it. And if you are the type of person who likes to tell people or educate people on these things, there is a way to go about it. And if you've done it before, tell us how you would do it, because I feel like even if I was in her shoes, I wouldn't know how to do it. Like if someone bothered me to that extent.
I think if you're just human to human, like maybe she was going through something, she would have been like, hi, this is a place where we try to be respectful. I think I would have took it like, oh, okay, I didn't know.
Like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have apologized.
Even if she would have apologized, been like, I'm sorry. Like,
I'm sorry.
I hear your conversation. You know, yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, but, and I would be like, oh, okay.
Oh, my bad. We didn't realize. Like, sometimes we don't. And that's, see, I would have took it like that too and be like, y'all, we were being loud. Like, oh my gosh, is she so sweet? Like, but I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't think that.
Honestly, like the human in me is like, F her, like, no, you know. But then when I look to the Bible, it's like turn the other cheek. Like,
Yeah.
don't meet petty with petty, and I feel like but I mean, that's all we can do is learn from it.
Yeah, we learned from it. We had a great time after that. We went to this restaurant and we had mimosas, shots, and breakfast, and then we went on a hike.
Yeah, it was really fun. We saw the triple waterfall, and then we headed back. The way back was
Like 5 hours.
5 hours.
Yeah.
We were stuck in traffic, but it was fun. It was a fun day trip.
Yeah, it was. And I think that it's something that we could learn from that with that situation is that we cannot take things personal. We can just learn from it. So if you're ever in a situation like that,
or if you plan to go, just
I saw this video that was saying, so they had a whiteboard and they had wrote like, don't take things personal. And it said, she yelled at me. You're right. And then they took out at me. She yelled. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or he was rude to me. No, he was rude. Like this, like stop taking things personal. And that's what kind of, it reminds me of like, she didn't like us being loud. She didn't like the loud. Like, you know what I mean? That was it. It wasn't personal. And I really don't think I don't take it personal because I don't know her personally.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But I think that it did kind of shift our mood a little bit. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like I know.
I mean, honestly, we were being petty all day. We're gonna be reverent. I felt we talked about it all day and we laughed about it. That's what it didn't. Like I feel like it probably bothered us, but like we still were laughing about it.
Yeah. I guess the lesson of the day is don't take things personal, but it's okay to learn from them.
That was probably my first Karen encounter. Maybe not, but to that extent.
Have I had I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like a out in the wild Karen encounter, like not at work, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine too.
I wish I would have recorded it. But.
And she did vlog the trip. Yeah. I think. What if we include it at the end of some clips?
We can.
I feel like that would be.
Or do it separate.
Separate? We had a great time, though. Like, if y'all watch the videos, they're hilarious. Yeah. I don't know. And then we got back not too late. Like, it was like 8 p.m. So we still had the day. I literally got home and, like, did laundry, washed my bed sheets.
I literally showered and went to sleep. Like, I was.
Yeah, I had a shower, too, because we had been out in the sun.
I don't know if I've ever gone that long without sleep. Like, I only got, like, 2 hours of sleep, I think. The night before.
I had got like maybe an hour, not even an hour. But it just reminded me that we could literally go to a whole different state.
Yeah.
And it was funny because we were out at that restaurant. We were like just talking, like saying first and last names and blah, blah, blah. Just talking about like people in our lives. And we're like, we can do that. No one knows us here. Like we could literally, we even gave each other different names.
Yeah.
Because like no one knows us there. We're in a whole different state. Like we could literally go to a different state at any time.
And be mysterious.
We were not mysterious. We're the opposite of mysterious.
I feel like they were like, oh, like they're trying to have fun.
Even the I feel like the owner of that restaurant, I think he was the owner, the one in like the older man.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I want to come sit with y'all. But I feel like as long as we can go to a place and spread our happiness, there's nothing wrong with that. It'd be different if we were there all negative, having a bad day, spreading that around. Like, no, we were having a good time talking to like the waiter, like just being us. And
yeah, I have no regrets. Like, it was fun.
And I want to do it again. And I think I would want to go and stay like the night there.
Yeah, in order to actually see the sunrise, I think you have to. Unless you leave at like 12 a.m.
And there's really not much to do over there besides outdoor things. We saw these horses that we could probably
look into,
But it would be fun to leave like a Saturday, stay there. Maybe go to a restaurant, have some drinks, and then the next morning get up and go hiking and go to the chapel. But yeah, we recommend going. It's really beautiful. I think we went when it was really cold though that morning.
Yeah, it was freezing.
But then at like around 2 p.m. it got really warm.
Yeah.
Like it was like perfect weather. So if you're thinking about going, definitely go, and just maybe don't be as loud as us.
She might be there because she lives there, so.
I could still see her face too. She had like short blonde hair.
She had the Karen cut, literally like the bob kind of.
She had a big Yeti and like a cup that she was pouring her coffee in. But yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
Me too. We do want to go to the beach for a day trip or a 2-day trip. I really want to go to the beach. That's where I just want to lay there.
Yeah.
And
the sun, I feel like. Yeah. The ocean. How was your Easter?
What did we do? Oh, it was good. We did it at I didn't go to church, but I went to my parents' house. They cooked. We did the whole Easter egg hunt. And it was fun. What did you do?
Yeah, I went to Mass that morning and then went to my parents. And me and my sister got this homemade ice cream maker thing. Because we used to do it growing up with my grandpa from my mom's side. And we all would take turns, like, turning it. And it would take, like, 2 hours to make. But we bought one. We found one that Saturday. So we did that. And it took forever. It was really good, though.
What kind of ice cream?
Banana.
Oh, banana. I've never made homemade ice cream, I don't think.
They say it's better. I think it is better.
You just do milk and...
I think we did milk, heavy whipping cream, banana, sugar. I think that's it.
Oh, that sounds
But it's the workout. Like, you literally have to turn it, like...
And then you have to wait, or it's already made? Like
it's made once you're done.
Oh, my gosh, that sounds good. I was looking into... it's called a Ninja Creamy. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, healthy ice cream. Like, you freeze it in a little bowl. You can do, like, a protein shake, Greek yogurt, and then you add, like... So you freeze it overnight, and then the next day, it just turns it for you. And then you can add toppings like a protein bar. Like, it's just healthy version of ice cream. But I have too many gadgets that I don't use.
You don't give me your crock pot.
I literally... Did I give you the crock pot?
You gave me a crock pot.
I gave you one.
Yeah.
I swear I gave somebody else a crock pot too. Like, I have too many gadgets for someone who does not cook. When I tell you I'm like, I have like 2 waffle makers. I don't even know. But Beck gave me something. Oh, I need to get that back. I used it for hot dogs at someone's house. But you know, you just have a bunch of...
Yeah, I had a juicer. I'm like...
I had a juicer too. I have a juicer.
I have it, but I never use it. I'm like, it's too hard to clean and stuff.
Yes, I go through phases. I'm like,
then we want to be healthy. And it takes so much to, like, make a cup, though, I feel like.
So, like, celery, like, to make even, like, half a cup.
And to me, it's disgusting,
but it's good for you.
Yeah.
Jelly's back on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I'm back.
How do you feel?
Honestly, it seems like, to me, it's boring now.
It is boring. I think you just want to post. I think it's good to see, like, what people are up to.
Yeah, but not like scroll. I guess I was already in that phase. Like, I don't just sit there and scroll anymore. I'll just check stories and get off.
That's what I do on Instagram. I feel like I don't really, but TikTok I still.
Yeah, and I was gonna get TikTok back too, but I'm still thinking about it. Just because I'm like, I probably would be on there too much.
But I want to see your content.
I want to post content.
I miss your content. Like, she went back on Instagram, and I swear it was like, I know. Like, I was like, oh, she's back. Because you posted, like, your cat, and you posted, like, things that I haven't seen. So your presence was missed on IG by me. You know?
Yeah, I had posted that I was back. I was like, probably nobody cared. But I had some messages, and I didn't want to reply to everyone like I took a break, you know? So I just posted on my story, like, I'm back. And then I saw, you know, that man that holds the sign? He was like, nobody cares if you take a break.
I think when you announce it is when you're like...
that's what it said. You don't have to announce it or whatever, but...
No, but I think when people announce it, but they stay on... Like, I've seen people announce taking a break. Text me if you want to talk.
Yeah.
And then they'll be on the next. I'm like, I thought he was taking a break.
Yeah. But I think it was good because I gave it up for Lent. But I'm like, it's crazy that Jesus gave up food, like literally food and water, and I gave up freaking social media. But I do feel a difference with it. Like, hopefully I don't become addicted to it. But
No, I think TikTok is where the addiction
Yeah.
is at. But even on TikTok, I don't see, like,
maybe after the ban, I think some people didn't go back to.
yeah.
But
I just want to watch things that, like, I feel better after watching. You know, I've been watching a lot of Safe Not Soft, even her old episodes, like old stuff. And that's just what I want to listen to because,
yeah.
like, I'm over drama stuff. And even I was having a moment of reflection about our podcast. And I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
What are we? I literally was having that moment this past week because there's times where we sit here and we don't know what to talk about, which is fine. But I'm like, what can we do or what can we talk about where it actually people leave
It's
here?
like positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because some stuff, like, I'll start watching and then I click off because it's just same old, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are coming to that too, where like I don't want to watch so much drama or just negativity.
Yeah, and I even, like, I stopped watching, like, reality TV as much. Like, I don't watch the Kardashians. Like, I used to love watching the
Yeah, I do
Kardashians.
too.
I think they have a new season, and I haven't even watched it. But I don't know. I just feel like,
I like watching too, like regular people.
yeah.
Like I've been coming across a lot of blogs. It'll have like 100 views, just random people, and I'll watch it sometimes. I'm just like, I want to see more relatable content, you know. But
How could we be more relatable? I think we talk about everything. Like, I think people can relate to how we sometimes are motivated, sometimes we're not.
yeah, I think we pretty much share. Like we kind of share the bad things too and the good. You know, like we're not just. Because I had seen did you see where they were Girls Gone Bible, like they were coming out about her. Did you see the drama with that?
Mm-mm.
About how like when she started filming her podcast, that supposedly she was still like partying and stuff.
Oh, I think I saw something like that.
And I was thinking about that. I was just like,
But
I'm like, I think we share that side of us too, though. You know, like we're not trying to be on here like we're perfect or anything. But I'm like, the hate was dumb for her, because I think your journey with God is just going to be different for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like when I see posts about. I saw this. It said the last face of a hoe going, like, getting close to God. I'm like, what? Like, well, let us change. Let us be great. Like, not, you know, but it was like, I know the last face is when you start getting closer to God. But you do realize, and I'm not saying like, oh, like you have to be like, no, it's just you make decisions that you're not proud of and you feel convicted. And then you're like, why do I feel some things that I used to do, I could do and not think twice.
Yeah.
And now I think there's a meaning. Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why do I do what I do? And to me, if you are closer to God and you want to share it and you want to talk about it, there's nothing wrong with that. I think being a hypocrite,
Yeah.
you know, that's whenever you do get close to God and you start judging others for doing the things that you used to do. That's when I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Because I feel like there's things that I wouldn't do now, but I'm not going to judge somebody for doing them. I'm going to tell you my experience with it, but you do what you know. And I think that's where a lot of people get thrown off by religion and
Yeah.
God. Because,
And they think everyone is judgy.
yeah, and when you remember that only God can literally judge you, it's like, I was talking to somebody about this because I was telling him how sometimes I do feel like I judge, right? Like my family or I'm like, why don't we just do this? Or why don't we just, and you know what he said? He said, you know what you can do? And I said, talk to them about it. He's like, no, pray about that. Pray for them. I said, because I was like, talk to them. Should I just talk to them about it? And he was like, just pray for them. That's all you can do, and that's the only thing you can control is what, like, praying about these people that you are so worried about.
Yeah.
And it's true, because sometimes I'll be the one to tell people, like, hey, like, let's talk about it. Like, why is this happening? And sometimes a lot of times it's really not my business.
Yeah, I think sometimes we forget the power of prayer. I do sometimes. Like, you can pray about literally everything.
Yeah, pray about for anybody. And I think that is the highest form of love, is praying for somebody.
Yeah.
And not even telling them, because I pray for you. Now that's I pray for you.
Like, God bless you.
Yeah, like that is, just because someone's sin looks greater to you doesn't make yours any less. Like the book that I'm reading, it talks about being a lukewarm Christian. Girl, I fit into that.
Yeah. I do too, honestly.
And honestly, a lot of people are.
A lot.
Even the people who are always posting about, a lot of people are. But I think we're all trying.
Yeah. And it's honestly hard in this world. Like, if you think about everything that's in social media, in our face, like, it's hard, but I feel like, and we are trying and making an effort.
It is hard though, once you do know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You're not, and you're feeling convicted every time you do something you're not supposed to. But that's God right there, right? And it's crazy, because back then, like I said, we could do things and not feel.
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad. And now we're just like, you hear like that little voice that's like, no, or why are you doing this? But
it's like, he has a lot of patience.
Yeah.
But I'm like, one day it runs out,
Yeah, but I think only God can see our heart, and only we can express to him that we're trying, and having that moment with him, and really praying to
Repenting.
God. Yes, and saying, praying to not fall into temptation for things that, because, they never, like, Jesus never said we wouldn't be tempted, because we're going to be tempted all the time to say or to do or to fall into certain things or say things that we don't even, because sometimes you'll be in a circle and you say things and you're like, why did I say that? But you're going to be tempted, but we got to pray that we don't fall into temptation when it comes to those things. And that's something I'm working on. Like, sometimes I'll be around people, and even though I don't agree with, I'll laugh at things, and that's not me. Like, I'm like, I just need to, like,
I laugh too, but I'm such a nervous laugher. Like, I'll be like,
yes, me too.
Because I'm like, what do you do? Like,
yeah. But I do want to be the type of person that walks into a room and you can feel like God, like, that's God's child right there. Like, you can just feel it. When you see people and you meet people, you're like, they got Jesus in them, and that you can just feel it. And that's what I want. And I'm working on that. And I feel like we are working on that.
Yeah, I can see the growth in us.
Me too. Can y'all? After we just talked about this lady.
No, but honestly, the older me would have been like, if her, like, she's wrong,
But
like,
we did reflect.
Yeah, so that's growth.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. If y'all think we could have handled that situation, I want opinions. Like,
I do. I want to know how you would have handled it, and how you would. I don't know. Or how you think she should have handled it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, let us know down below. But thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Please subscribe, comment, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We love you. Bye.
Bye.